I got Day Max 6, and we are at the Mecca. And today I've got a very special interview with Big Chris, PsychoFitness. Lewis, Chris, welcome to Muscle Beach TV, man.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
First time on the show. So, first of all, I want to ask you, why is your company called PsychoFitness?
Well, my mother always called me Psycho when I was a kid, so it always stuck with me. So
Is that why?
yeah, and fitness working out, so it's Psycho Fitness.
Okay. I'm gonna.
If you know me personally, you know I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, I've got to ask you that. So, thanks for coming on the show today. You got some really big news. A lot of things have been brewing up online on social media and stuff, and actually we've heard some rumors at goals for a while. So big changes are happening in the Mecca right now. You wanna break the news and as an exclusive on Muscle Insider?
Okay, well, some new things, but they're old things. I am the official coach for Dexter Jackson.
Who's sitting right there in the
Yeah,
car
yeah.
watching the interview?
He's watching to make sure I don't say anything I shouldn't say. I'm his trainer. George Farrer is his actual coach. Excuse me.
So nutritionist and you do the training.
I do the training like that, but I've been helping Dexter for a while, but now I'm officially his trainer for this prep.
So, because everybody online has been asking, Dexter was actually training with Charles for a while now.
Right.
So now you're taking over the training as far as Dex is concerned.
That's true. Dexter has appointed me as his trainer for this season.
That is huge news, man.
It's pretty good. It's an honor for me. Dexter is a personal friend of mine, and we've been working together. But Charles was calling all the shots and calling all the exercises, and we would execute what Charles told me to do. But now it's a combination of me and Dexter putting things together and doing what we feel is going to get him to the winner circle where he needs to be.
Right. So, Chris, you've been someone who's been around Golds for many, many years. Everyone knows you here. I mean, you're kind of like part of the furniture. Like a lot of people at Golds have been there for long enough. So you've been friends with these guys for a long time. And do you think that brings something special to the equation? Obviously, they're trusting you, and that's probably part of the reason why they're coming along.
Right. Well, let's take Dexter for instance. I've been around him for 3 to 4 years, so he knows what I can do. So this wasn't just something he just came up with. He knows what I can do, and Dexter knows his body. He's not going to let me do anything I'm not supposed to do.
Right.
So it's a good combination.
Yeah.
So it works out well for both of us.
I mean, obviously, people like Dexter and those high-profile athletes, they have a lot to lose. So they're not making decisions like that out of the blue and just like, oh, I'm just going to change trainer today and see what happens.
Right. He's the most winning bodybuilder, so he's not stupid. He knows his body, and he knows from right off bat what he can trust somebody with. So he appointed me. He trusts me. I trust myself, and we're going to get it done this year.
How does that make you feel, dude, to have someone like Dexter who's arguing still today, one of the best in the world, and has all those records, won all those pro shows, won the Olympia, won every single show there is to win? How does that make you feel, dude?
Well, it's hard to say because he's a friend of mine. Like, we talk about television shows.
But he's still Dexter.
Right, it's Dexter to me. So as people were telling me about it, I go, yeah, okay, but it's Dexter.
You don't see him the same way.
Right, I don't see him the same way. It's my friend.
Yeah.
So. But when I think about it, yeah, it's a big honor. It's a big honor. So it makes you feel good.
Chris, it's a big honor, but it's also a lot of pressure. And now the fact that Charles isn't in the picture anymore, and he comes to you, do you feel like, oh shit, this is like I got to deliver. This is a lot of pressure for me. Because I'm sure a lot of people are asking themselves that, like, oh my God, I don't know if I would want to be Chris right now.
Well, you have to understand that I've been here, and if you do your history and you go on YouTube, you see I've been around the best bodybuilders in the world in some capacity.
Yeah.
So is it pressure? It's always pressure because we're going for best in the world.
Right.
But I think things were done previously that shouldn't have been done, and I think things that were left out that should have been done. So I'm going to execute those things, and I promise you, he's going to look the best he ever looked this year.
So you basically like your position because you were sort of in the position of observer and were able to study what should have been done better or could have been done better, and now that's what you want to do.
I'm gonna say it like this: people come here and they come here for Gold's Gym of the late '90s and the early 2000s,
Stick close to me.
and unfortunately that gym is not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bringing that gym back. I'm bringing old school bodybuilding, heavyweight, time under tension back to this gym. So if you train with me, if you come with me, I'm going to give you what the greats got when they came here. That's my thing, to bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut it short. I'm not going to watch the clock, and that's the person I am. and I'm going to make you do everything that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's why Dexter entrusted me, and others as well.
You want to talk about others?
Well,
Can you talk about others?
Oh, we can talk about others.
You can talk about what you want, man. It's your show.
Well, a friend of mine who I've given sessions to before, Hide Yamagichi. I told him to come down, give me a week. I said, give me a day, and tell me what you think. And he decided to stay a week.
That's confidence.
Well, I've been around for a long time, and there's another, let's say, number 2 in the world, Sean Flexitron Roden. I will also be his trainer this year as well.
Holy shit, dude! So you just got, in the span of 1 week, Dexter, Sean, and Hide. Is that right?
Correct.
Are you on top of the world right now?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. It's a good feeling, and they're all happy. And Dexter looks like he's 8 weeks from Olympia right now.
I know, he looks massive, man. Unbelievable. He looks so good.
He looks great. But you have to understand, I trained them for first place. I'm not happy with second. Right. I'm not happy with third. So every session, we're going for first place, and that's where me and Charles differ.
What do you mean?
He was happy with second. He was happy with third.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm not happy with that.
So
he was happy with that placing. Or he didn't believe they can go further. I believe Dexter can win this contest. I believe Sean can win this contest. So my goal, if Dexter is first or Sean's first, I'm fine. But Phil Heath will not beat them this year.
Oh!
He will not beat them.
Wow.
He will not beat them. No, this is not them. He will not beat them.
Wow.
Phil Heath will be third if best.
Holy crap. Those are strong words, man.
Yes, it is. And Hani Ramba, he knows me. Hani Ramba knows me. Yeah. I know him. I know Hani Ramba when he came up here to watch to see what we were doing.
Wow.
To learn from us. So they both will beat him this year.
Chris, I love your confidence, man. And I think these guys need that as well, because when their coach or trainer is confident, I'm sure it gives them more confidence to it translate.
You can't lift the weight. You can't eat that chicken. You can't eat that dry fish unless you believe it.
Right.
And I can't train you to my best unless I believe it. I believe they can beat him. They're going to beat him. We found out. I know what needs to be done to bring their weaknesses up. Sean is back. But we were not doing what needed to be done for Sean to build that back. Right. If you notice, 2 years ago when I was Sean's training partner, chest, arms, shoulders got bigger. I wasn't in charge of the back. That was someone else. That is the only thing that didn't improve. This year, it will improve dramatically.
It's a huge vote of confidence for these guys to put their career literally in your hands, and tell you, you know what, you drive the car, I'll do whatever you're telling me, and it's huge news, Chris. And I know people online have a lot of questions, and they have a lot of I don't want to say doubts, but it's such a big change, because Charles is kind of like the godfather of bodybuilding. He's been training Flex and Dillett and Cormier and all these things for so long. He's been here for so long training all these champions. I think it says a lot about you as a trainer for them to actually, because Dexter goes way back also, to say, you know what, take me there, take me back to the title.
Exactly. Well, again, it's like for the last 3 or 4 years, they've been getting taste of what I can do. This is not something that they just said, I picked this guy. Yeah, obviously. I've trained them when Charles was out of town. I trained them when Charles was sick. I've been there. Right. And Charles is the godfather, but he's like an uncle to me. Right. So I'm not putting him down, but in that dynamic of master, teacher, one day the student passes to master. It happens, and I'm sorry. And I know out there it may sound disrespectful, but that it happens. The student will pass the master one day.
What makes you so confident that you think that you can actually do a better job than Charles? Because I'm sure people will be asking.
Right. Because what I knew to build the names that you said before, the greats before, we were not doing that. We were not doing it.
Some things are missing.
Some things are missing, and I will say it's free weight was missing. It was free weight. It was missing. The movements was not. We were not executing it the way we should have. Okay. The way I seen done in the past. I see. So it's very simple. We have to do those things, and the guy will improve. Wow. So Dexter is here. Sean is here. They're not doing any shows to the Olympia. It is only training, and they look great now. You will see Dexter in his upcoming guest poses, and I'm telling you, you will see the improvements in him already.
Wow. I know that you and Charles were close. Obviously, you were collaborating and doing all these things. Is this kind of like, is it gonna hinder your friendship, or what's the relationship between you and Charles now? Because I mean, obviously, I'm assuming he knows.
Yeah, right. Well, like I said before, this was not a stab in Charles' back or anything like that. And like I said, Charles taught me so much. I've worked alongside Charles for 25 years. Charles is the great Charles Glass, and I will always respect and love the man. And I think right now, it may be hard right now to swallow, but he'll see. And Charles loves me, and he'll see it's the best. And Charles always told me I would take this gym over. He's the first one that told me that.
Yeah.
He said,
"You mean well. This comes from a good place."
I mean well. It's all about the client.
Yeah.
But he said I would take the gym over. So he told me that 15 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you, man. I know you're a good guy, and I know you work your ass off, and you really seem to care for all the people you're helping. You can see that when you train them. Not just Dexter and Hide and Sean, but everyone you work with,
Right.
And I'm sure that's a huge part of why they want to come with you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. They entrust me, and I'm going to give them my all.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them my all, and I promise everybody that I touch will improve this year.
I got one last question. What's going to happen with Sassy now?
Sassy,
She told me to ask you.
she will be. Sassy will be back in the rotation next week. That's my girl. She will be back. Trust me.
You see, Eddie, I asked him. I told you I would.
She will be back in the rotation. We will just kind of get acclimated to the new schedule. But Sassy is my girl.
Okay, because she's like, oh, sure, now Dexter comes around and I'm off the schedule.
No.
She's so funny.
We had to figure some things out, try some new movements. We went from 1 hour to 2 hours just trying to figure things out. Sassy will be back.
Okay.
We'll be doing our videos soon. Annie, you're my girl. You know that.
All right, well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling the whole world of what's going on over here in Venice. This is like groundbreaking exclusive stuff, you guys, and thank you to Chris Lewis for letting us know what's going on. And then keep watching, you guys, because we're gonna have Chris doing some videos with these guys. I know we have Hide schedule next week, some training videos and stuff. And Chris is always a good guy, a good player, and I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thank you, and more pros to come. More pros
He's
to come.
taking over the whole IFBB,
More
you
pros
guys.
to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
It's Dave at Max 6 for Muscle Insider, Muscle Beach TV, and we're out.